What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials and pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. And don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials, hit the buy sounds tab and get that LoFi piano sample pack. 30 LoFi pianos filled with just LoFi sauces mix saucing steam. Now today we're going to be going over a quick tutorial. I was working on this beat. I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking share this with everybody, because yeah, it's been a while since I've done some arrangement tutorials for YouTube. If you guys want to see like crazy arrangement breakdowns, a lot of that sauce is what I give to the Studio One tutorial subscribers. Like, as some people, they see like the magnitude of game that I give out on YouTube and they think like, oh well, why would I pay for the 15 bucks? There's obviously nothing there, but you know, this guy trying to jug me, and that's not the case, bro. There's a lot of value there. So anyhow, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of break this down for you. Now, every beat that I work on, right, I do in the format, it winds up being 120 bars. That's 3 hooks, 2 choruses, and you start with start with the intro. Then you start with, you know, your 8-bar hook, and then verse 1, hook, verse 2, and pretty much everything. If I change up any of the format, it all winds up within that 120 bar range, and I find that works because when we look at the time, in, you know, at something a little quicker like 164, which would be 82 beats per minute straight time, you know, you wind up at like a 2 minute and 55 second song, which, like, when they were you know, they've been trying to hack music and hits forever, and back in the early days, like the 40s and 50s, the conventional wisdom was the perfect pop song was like 2 minutes and 55 seconds. I like this. The reason why I like it, because when you jump down to a tempo that's a lot slower, that you know, what I'm typically used to making, like trap vibes, you wind up running something like 3 minutes and 33 seconds, which that correlates to you know, the old conventional radio standard, where, you know, you didn't want to have a song that was longer than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, which is why like a lot of older hip-hop songs would feature 2 16-bar verses, and if it was a single, it would have an 8-bar verse in the middle or an 8-bar verse at the end, or like a B hook or something like that, so that they could get that 3 minute and 30 second format. Like, if you go to a lot of 90 songs, a lot of them are like, you know, like 4.5 minutes. So that's where the whole idea of a radio edit came from. It was to kind of shorten that up. So that's kind of like the thinking behind the 120 bars. And then within the confines of those 120 bars, you know, I kind of finesse, you know, 4 bar sections and figure it out. And in the course of doing this, I'll study other people's arrangements. So what I like to do is I like to take, you know, whatever the biggest song is out at the time, and, you know, and kind of break it down. So that's what I did. I went to God's Plan, and I was just like, you know, let me see what they're doing here. And I think that this arrangement could wind up being one of my go-tos. And the way that this arrangement works is they run it like this. So you have your intro, and in their version of it, theirs is 128 bars long, because they, you know, it's a Drake song, so he can have that vocal warm up. The way that I make my tracks, I make my tracks with rappers in mind. So I didn't choose to do the you know, the 8-bar intro. It's just a 4-bar intro.
This is a Craftmaster production.
right, and then you run into your section where you have, I like to call this full drums, where you have your full drum pattern. So you have for the purpose of this tutorial, from now on, when I say section, just assume that it's 4 bars, right? So you have 2 sections of full drums and whatever your melodic instruments is, and then this next section here, you have like a pace change, I call it, where I either slow down the hi-hats or take some kicks out or something, or mess with the 808s. In this section, I did all 3. Now, see, here's the cool part, right? So for my regular stock arrangement, what what my brain defaults to every time is I'll start with this intro here, and then this'll be my hook, and then this'll, I'll take the 808 out here, or do some type of drum play here, and then I'm coming back to full drums here, and then right here this'll be like the end of the verse, and then this'll be like the hook part. This arrangement is a little bit different, because instead of having an energy low point right here, you kind of slide down, and then you come to this empty space, no drums, just your melodic instruments, and you build back up into a high energy piece, which is what arrangement is all about. It's about going from high energy to low energy. So if we listen to the difference between this section and this section, let's listen to it. And you see, for this section, I'm bringing another melody piece in. Start to add some intensity with the drums, so you're building back up. And now for this next section, like this is his hook right here. This is God's plan. God's plan. Now this drop right here, where we took I have a mute on the 808. It's a 1 bar mute on the 808 and a 1 bar mute on the kick. I liked this drop. I believe that this drop was engineered because of the engineer working with the song, but I like the way it works too. This is where so because what we're doing is we're just trying to provide this subtle variation. The reason I didn't explain this in the beginning, the reason why I chose to use this particular arrangement for this in the first place was because God's plan revolves around a very infectious and simple chord progression, and then they have a lead line that shows up every once in a while, which is kind of what my piano part here is the space that it's trying to fill. Even though you hear this is some grimy shit, it doesn't sound nothing like God's plan, but we're trying to match the energetic flow of that record. Because subconsciously that'll speak to a rapper. Maybe they don't have the type of ear that wants to replicate the the vibe of a God's plan, but they have that similar rhythm. You see what I'm saying? So, but their content is different. So they're looking for the rhythm, but a different sonic bed. So this drop is something that works really well, because you don't have to do like a big drum change to change the energy for this 4-bar section. And we go ahead and right here we switch back into full drums for this section, and then we have our hi-hat change, and then boom, we're going back to this hook piece. And then we're just, for this next piece, we're just repeating this section right here, right? And then we get to our 120 bars. Boom, it's beautiful. So, just from an arrangement standpoint, if I was you guys and I wanted to dig a little deeper into this for myself, what I would do if I was you is, here, I'll make it easier on you guys. Just take this, go ahead and snap yourself a screenshot of this, and then you can kind of use this as a template, look at it as a visual cue, kind of line your stuff in there. Just a couple of the notes about what I was doing. Again, when I'm trying to extract an arrangement for, there's a couple things I listen to. I listen to the arrangement of the drums. Even though I'm not going to use the same drum sounds or the same drum patterns, I'll listen to, like, all right, is there like ancillary percussion? Is there an open hat? What can I do? What is the feel of that? I'll listen to, what's the melodic content? Is it just a chord vamp over and over? Is it a chord vamp and a sub bass? Is it or is it an 808? Do they have a main melody? Do they have a counter melody? This again, this record and a lot of the records that are winning right now are it's harkened back to just an age of simplicity, especially with the more current crop of rappers, because so much of their emphasis is placed on melody. So you got to kind of start creating tracks that leaves room for the melody. Like, you might be tempted to create these big complex sound beds as a producer because you want to show off your skills, or the beat might sound quote unquote empty, but you have to remember that, especially if you're selling beats online, some of these newer artists, they're influenced by the current crop of artists, right? And these artists are so melody intensive that it's like producing beats for a singer. So if you have a melody, a counter melody, a chord progression, 3 different rhythms going across your drums, you're gonna make it to where all the melodic ideas are taken up by instruments, and the rapper is not going to be able to find a flow on your beat. They might listen to it, they might love it, but they'll fast forward it and they'll say it's not for them. So that's something that you want to take away, especially if you're trying to do the beat lease thing and sell exclusives on your website and everything. You need to leave room for the artist. So again, this is CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by and get your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. LoFi pianos is out, $24.99. Get you some. Keep it simple, don't be basic, and we will see you on the next one.